Welcome everybody, and today we're taking a look at another film in the Universal Horror Monsters and Curiosities box set from Umbrella Entertainment. And this is the first film as part of Frankenstein Frights Part 2, although admittedly this should have probably have been in the first part of that, you know, subtitle of this box set overall. So yeah, today we're taking a look at 1942's The Ghost of Frankenstein, which is directed by Earl C. Kenton, who would go on to do House of Frankenstein, which we've already looked at. Now I need to slightly apologise for that review actually, because I didn't realise that that film was considered a Dracula film as well as a Frankenstein one. So it completely slipped my mind that we'd already looked at that film in the Dracula Untold 4K box set that came out in April. So I do apologise for basically reiterating what I said in that film, especially with a lesser version, because obviously these are on Blu-ray, not 4K. But yeah, completely slipped my mind that we looked at that film in that box set, because it's not one that I consider a Dracula film, even though Dracula is in it. He's barely in it. He's out of it before the first act even finishes. So yeah, just completely slipped my mind, unfortunately. And yeah, once again, a horror film clocking in at 67 minutes long. And we have the likes of Lionel Atwill, Bela Lugosi, and Lon Chaney Jr. rejoining the once again being in a film in one of these box set. And Lon Chaney Jr. himself is Frankenstein's monster. We've also got like Cedric Hardwicke, who I've seen in 15 other films. He was in the 1939 version of The Hunchback of Notre Dame, as well as The Invisible Man Returns, which is another film in this box set, as well as The Invisible Agent, again, another film in this box set, and The Ghoul, also alongside Karloff in that film. You've also got Ralph Bellamy, who was in The Wolfman, and then you've also got Evelyn Ankers, who was also in The Wolfman, but she was quite essentially one of the screen queens of the 1940s, as she was also in Son of Dracula, The Invisible Man's Revenge, Sherlock Holmes and the Voice of Terror, The Pearl of Death, and two Inner Sanctum films, Weird Woman and The Frozen Ghost. So, yeah, she's probably more prolific in horror than any other actress that I've seen from in that decade. And yeah, this is about Frankenstein's unscrupulous colleague, Dr. Boehmer, who plans to transplant Igor's brain so he can rule the world using the monster's body. But the plan goes sour when he turns malevolent and goes on a rampage. So Bela Lugosi is once again playing Igor. He played that role in Son of Frankenstein, which is why it's even more egregious that this film is not the one that follows on from that one in this box set. Uh, yeah, it's really silly. Like I said in the previous review, that House of Frankenstein follows on from Son of Frankenstein in this box set, when it should have been this film that follows on from that one. But nonetheless, this is ultimately the first noticeable decline in quality in the Frankenstein series, being the fourth film in the series overall at that point, which is mainly down to a lack of depth and inferior characterization. Though I do still find this to be highly entertaining due to the more fun plot and the far livelier pacing, as this is significantly shorter than the likes of Son of Frankenstein, which I yeah was 32 minutes longer than, no, 33 minutes longer than this one. So inevitably the pacing is going to be livelier as a result. The cast is also good, despite Boris Karloff no longer being part of the proceedings, but Lon Chaney Jr. does do a reasonable job despite that. The plot is engrossing, the production value is top notch, the score is well done, it doesn't outstay its welcome, and even though it is lacking in depth, it still does have plenty of atmosphere to spare, which is due to the way that it is shot and the sets themselves. So yeah, even though it's not as strong as the first three films, which all got 4 out of 5 from me, this still does get a 3 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5. So it's not a massive drop, but it is nonetheless a noticeable drop in quality. Whereas the first three were all about as good as each other. Yes, some had benefits over other ones and such, but I found them all three of those to be really strong. Unfortunately, that is not the case for this fourth effort. So yeah, that's a little bit of a shame, but still, it is a good one and still well worth seeing. This does not have a trailer on this disc though for this film, which is a little bit of a shame. I would have at least one extra as part of this disc for that film. But nonetheless, it is in 133:1 aspect ratio, black and white. The 2.0 DTS HD MA audio sounds pretty good, while the 1080p presentation also looks good as well. You got English language soundtrack and then subtitles in English as well, although they're not for the deaf and hard of hearing, as there are no closed captions, I believe. So yeah, do be warned on that front. But still, a solid effort, and yeah, it's just a shame though that, like I said, it's out of order as far as this box set goes. which is a bit of a shame. So yeah, but nonetheless, we'll be looking at Frankenstein meets a Wolfman for the next effort, which again should have been before House of Frankenstein as far as this box set goes. But yeah, nonetheless, if you have seen The Ghost of Frankenstein before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.